What the hell are we watching? Really? Chicago almost scores 70 points in the first half? This is unacceptable. We cannot make a deep playoff push if we're going to play basketball like this. It's our Achilles heel. It's just has been happening all season. We lay down against inferior opponents. This team is not good. We're making Bobby Portis look like Shaquille O'Neal in his prime right now. We're playing absolutely zero perimeter offense. Zero perimeter defense. They've knocked down 12 threes. It's horrible. It's like watching shoot-around right now. They're just out there wide open, behind the arc, hitting threes. They're going down. They're freaking eating us alive down low. Nobody's covering Bobby Portis. Amir Johnson looks completely lost on the defensive end. I can't stand Amir Johnson. The more I watch him, the more it just makes me cringe when he goes out on the floor. He's just slow. He's unathletic. Please put Rashawn Holmes in. Please stop giving minutes to Amir Johnson. I don't care if he's making $11 million. Don't give him any minutes. Or just cut him. Get rid of him. He is putting no effort in whatsoever. Or even if he is, it's time for him to hang him up. It's just, this is a bad showing for us right now. It was 22-7. We had an 18-point lead at one point as well, and we just completely lost it. We are playing poor defense. This is what has put us on this 5-game winning streak, was our tenacity on the defensive end, and it's not showing right now. We were hot early on. We were knocking down the threes, and then they just went on a freaking run, and we're not getting in their face. We need to push tempo. We need to amp it up. This is a bad showing. We're laying down to a team that's 17 games under 500. We should have no problem with this squad. You know, Robin Lopez is on their team, but he's out tonight, so Bobby Portis cannot cover Embiid, as we saw earlier. He should back him down in the second half every chance he gets. All the offense should be run through Embiid in the second half. It's going to open up jumpers for Cove and for JJ as well. JJ's looks like he's on a good night tonight. He's knocking down his shots. They look fluid. I thought that was a bunch of bullshit when Dario got a technical over what? You can't even freaking shrug your shoulders or wave your hand anymore? I mean, we're giving this much power to the refs. You know, and I blame that on Squidward. I can't stand him as a commissioner. You know, all the stuff that he's put into the NBA, these rules, it's just, you're giving power to these needle-dick whistleblowers. Like, you have a whistle, bro, that gives you power. Oh, my God, he didn't pay attention to what you said, so let's give him a technical. Nah, I don't think so. That was bull. You know, I'm really fired up about this game tonight because this is it. This is going to be an important push. And we have a very favorable schedule for the rest of the season. Got 13 home games left, but a lot of our opponents that we have left are under 500 and not playoff teams. So this should be easy for us to collect these wins for teams that we should beat. It's a little more acceptable in the beginning of the season because we weren't gelling. Not this time. You know, not this time deep into the season. You know, it's almost March. This is where you got to be playing together, gelling well like we have been, playing great defense. We got to turn around the second half. Got to make some adjustments, Brett. Take some notes from Billy Belichick. Make some adjustments. Learn from Popovich. You have. It's going to be a lot to gain here. We got to come out, push the tempo. They cannot survive with us. They have a really nice squad. Not to say they can lay down and they're not shit, because they got Zach LaVine. Chris Dunn's not bad. I think Lauri Markkanen's going to be a stud when it's all said and done. He's going to be a really great pro. He hasn't really done much tonight. I'm just Bobby Portis with 21 points. Like, are you kidding me? This dude's looking like a freaking Hall of Famer out here. It's a joke. Can we stop it? He looks like a homeless guy. This dude's a chump. It's nothing. Back him down, Embiid. Own him on the post. That's what we got to do. So that's what we got to do in the second half. We got to amp up that tenacity. That tenacity. We gotta amp it up. Look it. I'm so excited. I'm jumbling on my words. Jesus. 69 points in the first half. Chicago. But LaVine's a real nice player, though. I think they're not too far from becoming a decent team. It's just they're young team. I think Fred Hoiberg's a joke, so we should beat him in that standpoint. Brett Brown should be able to outcoach this bull no problem. He should go back to college. I also wanted to touch on the All-Star break too in this video. I tried to do a video before, it didn't upload, but I thought All-Star Weekend was really good. Past, what, I'm trying to think, 8 to 10 years I have not watched the All-Star game. I always thought it was a waste of time. It was all for show. It was crap. It wasn't entertaining. Last year it was like 192 to 182. So the NBA decided to change it up a bit. Instead of doing East versus West, they did team captains like the NFL did a few years ago. I like that part. So you got West playing with East, just mixed it all up. Thought that was good for the league. It was entertaining because that last 8 minutes of that All-Star game was intense. It was great to watch, highly entertaining. They brought an energy that you usually don't see during an All-Star game because usually they're just the players are lackadaisical and don't really care. But the defense was amped up in that game with the last 8 minutes. I thought that was good for the league. I think they should continue to do this. The dunk contest was also entertaining. You had new and up-and-coming stars. Few years, it's been a bunch of nobodies, and I thought that's what made the All-Star game entertaining from years past. Having all the All-Stars out there, like actual All-Stars playing, like they did back in the day. If you guys remember, even the past few years, it's been guys sitting out, not wanting to play, not wanting to do the skill challenge, dunk contest. I think we have an up-and-coming star in Donovan Mitchell. He was well-deserved, but they paid dues to previous dunk champions like the Vince Carters. Larry Nance Jr. imitated his dad and put his own twist onto it, so that was fun. Three-point contest, we had a lot of competitors. I wish Steph Curry would have played. That's what I mean by guys trying to sit out, kind of like same with football. When all the stars just decide not to play or sit out, that's what makes it entertaining, is seeing all these great players come together and coming together as one and playing. So I hope the league continues to do what they have done with mixing it up. Maybe not have East versus West. That's really great for the league. It puts a different twist on things because you need change sometimes. You got to mix it up. It becomes mundane at some points. So I thought it was great. Embiid had a great game. 20 minutes, 19 points. He was a monster. He's going to be a perennial all-star. He'll be there for the next 12 years, I think. He's a monster. I thought Steph's team should have won, but got to give credit to LeBron and KD for locking it down there. They got him in that corner. It's like the worst place to be because the out-of-bounds acts as another defender. He couldn't go nowhere. He took the best shooter probably of all time and gave him no option. He kicked it out to DeRozan. Shot clock violation. End of the game. So I hope they continue to do that. I know they talked about doing a draft next year during All-Star break. Same way they did that, so that should be entertaining. I will definitely watch again next year if they do that and amp up that defense because it's fun. You don't want to see players laying down on the court like they did in years past. Steph Curry doing that. That's boring, dude. I don't want to watch that. In years past when Allen Iverson was playing and all those guys, Shaquille and Big Ben, Chauncey, Rip Hamilton, Tayshaun Prince, those were fun years, early 2000s because it was just amped up. AI put it all out there like it was the finals, and that made it fun to watch. And they lost something in between like 08 to up until now. It was just crap. So they're trying to bring it back, make it more entertaining. Good for the NBA. Another thing I want to touch on before the game comes back on is the seeding for the playoffs. I do not agree with this, and I hope they don't change it or do anything, is just doing the top 16 teams making the playoffs. I'm happy with the East versus West, and I don't think you should have to change something because a team in the West had 50 wins and they didn't make it. And you look over in the East and it's a little bit of a weaker conference, and you have teams that are barely 500 making it. Okay, so what does that mean? You're last in kickball and everybody should get a trophy? No. I think that's what's wrong with today. That's what we're teaching our kids too, that there are no losers, everybody's a winner. No, that's a bunch of bullshit. You have to lose to succeed in life. There's always going to be failure. And to teach people that it's okay to have trophies, everybody gets a trophy, everybody's a participant gets a participation trophy, I should say. Nah. You got to have losers. There's winners and there's losers. That's just the way it's going to be. And just because a team's got 50 wins over in the West and they don't make it, we're going to change the rules? Bull. That should be motivation for next season to, oh, maybe I should have played harder in that one game. Or maybe if we did this in another game, we would have been able to make it. Not, we're going to change the rules all because there's teams over in the stronger conference. That's always going to be an imbalance. During Michael's era, the East was stronger than the West. Now, of course, the West has been stronger for about 8 to 10 years, but there's always a tipping point. It's going to happen. You don't change the rules to have an even balance. The NBA's fine. I thought the past few seasons and the finals, the best two teams made it. It made for great basketball. It's entertaining. It's not that boring. Are they trying to do this to stop super teams? I don't know. I think it would be weird watching two West teams going at it for the NBA Finals. You're killing that whole East-West Coast vibe, which I think is great. You've had it with rap. You have it in sports. You have it just in all together with people, East versus West. With the whole, what's the word I'm looking for? It's just something that is instilled in you, and I think it all started back in the day with East versus West with Biggie and Pac, and then you bring it into sports. The East hates the West talks crap on the East, and it's just that rivalry that makes it so much more entertaining. And if you eliminate that by having the best two teams, and I think about travel time too, I think it would be brutal for the teams, and during the season, it would stretch out the season maybe a little longer. It would be brutal on the players, and us fans, especially on the East Coast, we'd have to stay up later to watch the West Coast games, and some of us wake up pretty early, so you would be hurting the fans more than aiding them, I believe. And I hope they don't do that. Leave it the way it is. If it's not broke, why fix it? Leave it. The best 8 teams on each conference get into the playoffs. It sucks that maybe some teams that don't deserve to be there, that are barely above 500, get in, but it's the way it is, and it's the way it's always should be. So please do not change the Squidward. We're all happy with the way it is. Want to get back to the game? I'm just rambling now. This is Kyle Gaffner with the Bitter Birds. We got to bring that intensity, guys. That tenacious D. We got to get in the passing lanes. No across-the-court passing. A lot of stupid mental errors. We just got to lock it down. Please play some perimeter defense. Please just get up in their grill. If this continues, I will entertain the bullcrap rumors I'm hearing about trading for Kawhi Leonard, because he actually plays some defense. And yeah, we don't play perimeter defense having all year. That's the worst problem the Sixers have all year, other than the turnovers. Those are the two things. We will not make a deep playoff push if we continue to play down to teams like the Chicago Bulls. All right, guys. Let's see what happens in the second half. Kyle Gaffner with the Bitter Birds. I'm out. Peace.